Hey there, welcome to Motorcycles and Misfits, coming to you from the Recycle Garage in sunny Santa Cruz, California. Hey everyone, this is Liza, and we're doing things a little bit different today because I am alone in the studio. Nobody else here. I've been abandoned, I say. But that's
bunch of slackers.
That's okay because I can always rely on Bagel.
Howdy, greetings from the Pacific Northwest.
Yes, hey Bagel. And you
Howdy.
brought on one of our favorite stunt misfits.
I did.
You did. We've got the superhero herself. It's Steph. You.
Hi.
Hey Steph.
I'm here. I'm also in the beautiful Pacific Northwest.
Yeah, so you've been here on our show before, and you've been to Pakistan with me, and you just keep traveling. So where do you live now, Steph?
Currently, I live in a van, a self-converted Sprinter van that is parked outside of Bagel's place.
So you're still going. When are you coming down here?
Actually, I'm headed to California tomorrow.
Woot. Well, you're always welcome to stay here. I've got room for you. So I have some pretty big news.
Oh,
It arrived.
the Nikon?
The Nikon is here.
Ooh, have you ridden it yet?
Just around the neighborhood. But I let everyone else ride it today. So, Steph, do you know what a Nikon is?
I do not.
If you type in motorcycle plus abomination, this is what comes up.
Oh, great.
It's it has two front ends.
Oh, what? Oh, why?
Yeah, this is why it's an abomination. So I wanted
it's
to
the
get
MP3 of the motorcycle world.
well, but it's not self-balancing. But yeah,
Well, neither is the MP3.
Yeah. So I wanted to first give a big thanks to Scotty, the rock star, who took the Goldwing that was here that I bought as part of this whole trade, left here yesterday in a rainstorm, went to Arizona, dropped it off, got on the Nikon, turned around and came back and was here early this morning.
Man.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. Yeah. I iron butted like 1,500 miles, something like that. But I don't know if it counts if you swap bikes.
Well, if you're going one way, you could do it on one bike and then get a second iron butt on the way back on another bike.
Oh, Bagel,
iron butts.
Your echo is getting really bad again, and I think it is. What's happening is her mic has less of a delay, so it's almost coming through before your audio comes through.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So as long as you can, I don't know.
Maybe if I keep my voice down.
Maybe, yeah. Because you're coming through pretty clear, but
I can move too.
Yeah. So I got it, and it is Farkled out. The owner had put all sorts of SW Motec stuff on it. Really cool. And I did get the report from Scotty. I said, so this would be a great comparison ride. Goldwing or a Nikon? Which was more comfortable? You want to guess which one they preferred?
I don't even know what the Nikon looks like. So, I mean, it has two front ends.
Yeah.
That's all
Wow.
I vote a Goldwing.
You would
I'm
think.
I'm going to say the Nikon.
You would think, but they liked the Nikon a lot better. Just more comfortable, more their style, more fun. Yeah.
So is it just like a Croc, the Crocs of motorcycles, where it is just a hideous thing, but it's very comfortable?
No, it's not that it's a hideous thing. It is basically, so it uses the Yamaha 999 engine that's used in so many bikes. So this is basically the, it's their sport touring something GT. I'm blanking on it right now. But the MT-09 and the FJ-09, they all use this. But then it just has two front ends, and it's kind of got a soft suspension. So, I mean, when you're riding it, it doesn't feel like you've got three wheels. You're not pushing against it. Feels like you've got one wheel. And you can ride it on the racetrack. You can drag a knee. You can get it so low. That's how much the suspension will split.
See.
Yeah, so it has this cross member in between that lets them pivot. So rather than them having to do,
that does.
it's hard to explain. We're still like poking at it.
Yeah.
How do you work?
That is a strange, apocalyptic looking bike.
Yeah. So, but I've been letting everyone ride it. Charlie rode it, James rode it, Doug rode it, and they just come back and go, weird.
Mm-hmm.
But Charlie said the same thing I said the first time I test rode one. And when I test rode one, I was like, wow, I could own one of these one day. Sure, why not? Like, it's a capable bike. And Charlie said the same thing. I'm like, I know.
Yeah.
It's, if anything, it's just more weird. It looks weirder than it rides. It rides very normally, but the point is that it gives you twice the contact patch, so it gives you more confidence and trusting your front end.
I think it does in certain situations though, because the size of the contact patch is not necessarily the only factor, because the size of the contact patch is important, but it also depends on the conditions and how much adhesion you have, because when you have a certain amount of weight, a bigger contact patch does not necessarily give you more traction. It could actually cause you to lose traction because you have fewer pounds per square inch pressing against the asphalt, right? So if it's...
I'm going to just cut you off and say that's your theory, but the actual engineers who designed this, I think, used a little more physics to create this.
Right. And I think, but that's what I'm saying, is in certain situations, like where you're on a warm track, when the tires are hot on a hot day, it's going to stick like nothing else. That's going to be amazing. But when you hit a patch of leaves or gravel, right,
you have twice the contact patch. You're much less likely you have twice the contact patch, but maybe only 20% more weight in the front end. And also think about the braking.
Well, hold up. That's irrelevant, because if you lose traction, braking doesn't help you at all. What I'm saying is that with twice the contact patch and only 20% more weight, that means you have less pounds per square inch on those front tires. So in an adverse condition, you're actually riding lighter on those front tires. So if you hit leaves or gravel, I would be concerned you might actually slip out more easily.
I am no scientist or mathematician, but I'm just going to make up some numbers that sound plausible to me. Whereas on one wheel, you have the potential for 100% traction. And on two wheels, I'll say maybe your potential is 140%. I'm just going to throw out a number, which sounds plausible to me. You have the greater potential. I didn't say 200 because let's reduce because of what you just said, right? So there's no point.
Right, but
there's no point debating
on the
it.
condition.
Do your research. Do your research, Bagel. It's pretty cool, and people enjoyed it. And
cool. Well, yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it's a bad bike, and I'm sure that it is a lot of fun. But I think that there are certain limitations that you're going to find in certain situations. But that's just my take.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. So far, I mean, I have to take it out for a ride, but it was here and people got to ride, and that was fun and cool. And we'll see. I'm going to put it to the long-term test. That's how we do here. In other news, I wanted to share a conspiracy that I've been working on.
Oh,
yeah. I think there's a conspiracy that all automotive manufacturers are involved in. They are lying to us. That's right.
That's a given.
They are all lying to us.
Yeah.
And I'm going to call on people to verify that for themselves because I did a little test. And I went out and had a GPS unit on my bikes and looked at the speedometer. When the GPS unit said I was doing 50 miles per hour, I looked down to see what it was actually reading. My Scrambler, the Triumph, read 51 miles per hour. Not accurate. The KTM 690 read 52. Not 50. And the GPS is much more accurate. Now we tested two more bikes, my Elite 250 scooter and Knox Gixxer 750. You want to guess? One of them was spot on accurate. You want to guess which one?
I'm going to guess the Elite 250.
You would be correct.
Because it's a Honda.
Well, mechanical.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
What I looked up, the requirements were that a manufacturer cannot have the actual speed be higher than what's posted. So if you're doing 52 miles an hour and it says 50, like bad news. They are not allowed to be incorrect so that you're going faster than you think you are. But there is a range that manufacturers only have to be within, I believe, and this, I didn't do the exact math, but it said something to the effect of 110% plus 5 is the range they're allowed to be in. Because I noticed when I was riding in England on that Triumph Tiger that it was off by like 7 kilometers an hour, like a lot.
7 kilometers higher than the actual speed?
Yeah. It's always going to post higher. Say you're doing faster. We're always going slower than we think. We're never going faster than we think.
Oh, I see.
We're always going slower than we think. And this is the conspiracy.
Right. Okay. Right. And I can speak to that for Vespas because pretty much every modern Vespa does. It's literally like 10%, shows you're going 10% faster than you actually are. So if it says 50, you're only doing 45.
Yeah, I thought it was actually like closer to 10% optimistic for most
exactly.
bikes. But I thought that only started in the 70s or 80s. It's very noticeable on the Vespas, and it's more noticeable on modern bikes.
Yeah, they can be quite out of spec, so to speak. The thing that's interesting is so there used to be this the what do you call it, the mechanical speedometer on the wheel, but now it's going to the engine and doing revolutions, and it's all programmed to the size of your wheel. So if your tires are under or overinflated, it can change it, and just the wear of the tire by millimeters changes it.
Or if you put a different model tire on that has a slightly different tread pattern.
Yeah, I thought that's what people were doing to the Vespa GTS, and they can actually make it about accurate by running, I think it's an oversized tire on the front.
Interesting.
I don't know what that's like to ride with.
So I find it kind of fascinating how the range that things may be off. So I just wanted to put it out there to listeners. Test your bikes. Just many GPS or just your phone has apps, speedometer apps, whatever it uses the phone. I want to know what's the worst out of spec. But yeah, the Gixxer, when we were doing 50, it read 53. So Knock thinks he's faster than he actually is. Yeah, and the amazing thing is that I was riding alongside on the Elite 250 tracking.
Yep.
He's like, can that thing get up to 50? Oh yeah.
And
honest 50.
Yeah. So I'm curious. I want to go try my cars now. I'm curious if there are any that are spot on. I want to try my mom's Tesla. I wonder if things could calibrate. I guess
I think car speedometers tend to be more accurate, at least from my experience. I know the speedometer in my minivan's pretty much dead on.
I find it interesting that they're allowed to have that wide of a range, but I don't know if the conspiracy then comes from the government who wants us driving slower than we think we are.
No, I think it's probably just the fault of lawyers, like most things.
Lawyers. Well, no, but that's why they allow such a wide range of it.
Right.
Correct.
But they don't want to take the chance of the speedometer going and showing under what you're actually going at.
Yeah, no, I can't do that. I can't do that.
Right. So because the lawyers don't want to have to deal with that, they that's why they encourage the speedometers to read a higher speed than they actually are traveling, so that there is some buffer room in case somebody puts on an oversized tire or something like that, that somehow that the manufacturer still won't be held liable.
Oh, you think it comes down to lawyers? I'm sticking with my government conspiracy theory. And because we don't know, like different governments, because that in UK, that Triumph was way off. I think maybe they have a higher allowance. I'm just saying, which then I can argue, how did I get a speeding ticket when my speedometer was off that much?
Good luck.
I know. But yeah, I want to hear from people and to see how far off it is for them. Like, I want to see if there's some that are really off, because it's kind of interesting when you compare.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's some wide variety out there.
And I mean, personally, and I'm impressed that this 40-year-old elite 250 with probably 20-year-old tires is still spot on.
Right. Well, that's because that's from before the lawyers got involved.
That's what you think?
That's what I think.
Well, yeah. So, yeah, let us know what you think and go ahead and send us an email at motorcyclesandmisfits@gmail.com. Let us know what your speedometer is lying. How far off is it? Is this a conspiracy? I think it is. That's all I have to say on that matter. But what I have up next for you is not a conspiracy at all. This is not. This is a pure fact. Well, or so we are to believe. It has not yet been proven, has it? We will find out, because the story will come out. But joining us, we have actually a very special guest who I hounded to get onto the show. I hounded. And just so you know, you are muted. We can't hear you just yet. And I was like, this is an amazing story. And it's something that especially Bagel, who's traveled all over, and Steph, Steph, how far did you go on your scooter?
I went mostly around North America.
Yeah.
So the distance, I'm not really sure. There's 78,000 miles on that bike. And
you think you're hot? You think you're hot? I'll tell you what, I got somebody who's hotter than you, Steph. But the one thing that we all have in common with this person is that we're all friends with MoyneCon.
Awesome.
So joining us is brand new Guinness World Record holder, not yet certified, not yet stamped, but it will be soon, Bridget McCutchen. Hey, Bridget.
Hi.
Hey. So you got Steph and Bagel, and we are all friends of Moyne's. We've all been to Pakistan. So you got to get the royal treatment there, didn't you?
I did. I stayed with, Moyne actually had to go off and do something else. So I hung out with Moyne's wife quite a bit.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
And she's actually back here in the Bay Area now, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Wow.
Our parents live out here. Well, Bridget, you did a crazy thing. So I'm just going to start with a couple facts. So please tell us the actual record that you went for.
So the record title is youngest person to go around the world on a motorcycle.
Person. Not man or woman.
That is
person.
Awesome.
And how old are you today?
Today I am 23, but I was 22 when I completed the record.
And that is relevant.
Yes.
Because when did you turn 23?
On the 16th.
Yeah, yeah. So you had to get in by a certain date, didn't you? Because wasn't the current record holder 23?
Yes. But he was 23, almost 24.
Right.
So
got him beat. So yeah.
Technically Guinness does categorize it for like youngest man and youngest woman.
Mm-hmm.
But
we'll give you person.
I wanted to beat everybody.
Yep, that's awesome.
And you did. So let's go back. Let's go back to the beginning. How you got this crazy idea. I think your brother was involved in this. Am I right?
Yeah.
Leave it to a brother, right? Give you stupid ideas.
Mm-hmm. No, it was absolutely. No, it was his idea. And I think it was a good idea. So I ran with it. That's pretty much what happened is Thomas was like, hey, you wanna do this thing? I'm too old to do it. And I was like, sure.
So would you say you're a small town girl with big city dreams?
I am a small town girl with big world dreams. I can't say I'm much of a city person.
Big world dreams.
I am more than I used to be, but
yeah, you're what come from like farmland in Wisconsin, isn't it?
Yeah. If it was not so dark outside, I'd show you at the window, but it's 140 acres of no one else around.
Oh, wow.
Wow. So your brother said, hey, you should do this thing. Had you been riding motorcycles up to that point?
A little. I got my first motorcycle when I was 19. It was a 2004 Kawasaki Ninja 250.
Excellent.
So she's just a wee girl. And I got it in fall of 2020, I think. And then I didn't ride it much that year, but the next year I rode it to Washington, and then I can't remember if it was that year or the next summer.
Wait, Washington State?
Yeah, Washington State from Wisconsin. And I went more than 24,000 miles that summer while working a full-time job.
Oh, wow.
All right. So Bagel and Stephanie are scooter riders, so they're crazy like you. It makes sense.
Scooters! I have a friend in Turkmenistan, I think, on a scooter right now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Very cool.
So you got this crazy idea. And is this the type of thing where you spent months or years planning? Or is this one of those things where you're like, fuck it, I'm going?
If you haven't done it before, I'd spend at least a year figuring it out. Okay. Well, maybe half a year. Most of it was like getting everything together and getting all the parts and like sponsors and stuff. Excuse me. But I think I planned on leaving in May 1st, but originally the plan was different than what it ended up being, and that happened a few more times. But I think I spent like a year and a half planning before I actually left.
Wow. Well, we are all friends with Elspeth Beard. Have you heard of her?
Yeah, I've met her actually.
You met Elspeth. Great. Did you go to her water tower?
I have not, but I will.
I was there this summer.
So I'll probably swing by the water tower at some point.
And just to point out, like, what a difference, because you're saying, yeah, I'm just this farm girl, and I'm going to tell everyone I'm going to go around the world and get sponsors, and it happened, as opposed to when Elspeth did it and nobody believed that it was possible.
No, nobody cared. And that, I read her book, and it just made me so mad. Because she had such a hard time of it. And like I had my own stuff, but nothing compared to what she had to go through. And she did it for 2 years.
Yeah.
I did 15 months, and she did for 2 years. No one cared. She didn't have she built all her own stuff. And I did, like, initially I did a lot of that. Like I made, I have like a custom skid plate that I made. And then later, someone else helped me, but like custom crash bars and all that. But she made her own panniers and all this.
She's a badass. You know, she was in Pakistan with Stephanie and I.
I
Des
think I
Moines.
heard that. Yeah.
It's a small
Linda
world.
told
We're
me.
all
Yeah.
connected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Linda was telling me about that.
Yes, exactly. Well, and that's how I kind of found out about you, was through Linda and a bunch of my friends who all went to Pakistan with me, who I don't know how they found out about you originally, but I kind of like checked in, and I know you'd already been your route, but I think the first time I heard was there's this girl in Chile who needs help.
Yeah.
But I'm sure we'll get to that in a second, because then they came to help. But so you planned, and how did you choose your route? What was the criteria for the route?
So there was requirements from Guinness, so the main requirements were I had to cross the equator at least once, and I had to go over 2 antipodal points, and I had to go to minimum of 24,900 miles. So it's not like I could just go, like I had to go south,
right?
Either South America or like very, very Southern Asia. And so those were the things that dictated anything in my route. So I ended up going to South America, to Ushuaia, because why not?
Yeah.
Ushuaia
Nice.
is the Patagonia area is really, really beautiful. Honestly, South America, for just raw and copious amounts of beauty and like natural stuff that has nobody around, it's the best for that. Just because it's like an entire continent. If you go inland, especially like Argentina and Peru, there's sort of infrastructure there, and there's definitely people around, but it's like the best parts of Europe, but less people.
Wow.
Well summed up. So you have to look at seasons as you're going around, right? You got to avoid like monsoons and winters and all that. So you created a route. Were there any like countries that you're like, oh, I wanted to see that? I've always wanted to see it, that you made as a goal?
Ireland.
Oh, which is not really on the way.
No. Not at all.
Not at all.
It really worked out because I knew I wanted to go to Ireland. I've always, ever since I was a little girl, the countries I was most excited about were Ireland and Argentina, because my best friend growing up was Argentinian, and then like family roots are in Ireland and Scotland, and I've always really wanted to go ever since I was a young girl. And it really worked out because when I went over to Ireland, I had to go to the UK, and I ended up meeting my now boyfriend there.
So I believe he's near you right now, isn't he? Is he?
No,
so close by? He left.
Yeah.
So you met your beau on the road?
I did.
Was this a gas station hookup?
No. When I was in Argentina, I had put up on like my socials. I was like, hey, this is sort of my route. And then everybody freaked out because it was like a very bare minimum route. And they're like, you have to go here. You have to do this. And he messaged me and was like, hey, if you're coming through the UK, like there's a network here. If you want, I can give you information. It wasn't like you need to do this, you need to do that. So I sort of remembered that. And then when I came to Europe and to Spain, we have a mutual friend, Rebecca, and she was like, when you're going to the UK, you should meet Rory. And I was like, all right. And so then we started talking a little bit. And then when I met him in person, I'm like, yeah, he's pretty cool.
Nice. Well, you were relying on people and support throughout this trip. So I know, so you weren't traveling alone at the beginning, right?
No.
Kiva, was it?
Mm-hmm. Kiva.
Right. Yeah. So you're traveling, 2 of you, and traveling down. And I know in Chile, that was a harsh reality. Was that the first like real thing you had to deal with?
That was the hardest, like, I think that was the most stressful thing that's happened to both of us at the same time. And that was there was a first and only fight that happened from that.
Well, tell everyone what happened.
So we got robbed in Chile. It was completely our own stupidity. There was no one to blame but us. There was even warnings on like iOverlander and stuff. People get robbed in this parking lot. So we went into a grocery store and we kind of become complacent because there were so many people in South America that were just so awesome. And then a bunch of our stuff got stolen. Mostly Kiva. So Kiva's stuff is all like, she's very organized and all of her stuff looked very organized. And mine looks like a pile of crap strapped on top of a motorcycle.
That's why you pack the dirty underwear on top.
Yeah. Well, I have the Moscow Reckless 80, so there's a bunch of straps everywhere and everything's buckled all to hell. And she had the Scout, so it's just like sort of buckled in and there's a bag. You just take it out. So all of her stuff was gone.
Oh man.
And then we freaked out a little bit.
So are we talking like clothes, camping gear?
Yeah,
passport?
all of her, she had like her passport, her laptop.
Okay, good.
All of her like really essential stuff, but she was really attached to everything else because it was like her organic sunscreen or something, and she's very conscious about what she puts in and on her body, and so having all of that taken away was really hard. And there was like a handkerchief from her grandfather who's passed away and like stuff that's not replaceable.
Yeah.
I got my tank bag stolen, but that was it. I left my helmet on the handlebar with my Garmin and a big battery pack inside the helmet, and they didn't touch it.
Wow.
But, so you guys were like, what are we going to do?
Yeah. We panicked a little bit. And then I was like, all right, yeah, we were basically like, all right, what do we do? And so I put something up and I was like, this is what happened. And then, oh, you have a cat.
Yes, there's a cat in the studio.
Then I set up a GoFundMe so that Kiva could have a way to replace her stuff. Because she has a remote job, but she was the entire time we were gone living on like a shoestring budget.
Sorry, the cat just stepped on the soundboard and hit some buttons. So you got this like, all right, my stuff is gone. And she wasn't going around the world with you. She was just doing part of this trip.
Yeah.
Which is really nice when you're starting out to have a companion.
Oh, yeah. No, and she knew way more about traveling because I had never left the States up until that point.
Yeah. So you put out this story, hey, our stuff was stolen. And I know it was about the time that a group of my friends, we call them Chickastanners, were heading down to Chile for a trip. Yeah.
And then so I think it was the next day, Linda reached out to us and she was basically like, hey, I saw your stuff. There's a group of friends and I going through Santiago on a like delayed, like a what do you call that? Flight stop.
Yeah.
Layover. That's what it is. And if you want or if you need, we can bring you stuff. And this was perfect because then Kiva could get like real camping gear from the States, and like her friends and family had extra stuff. And then our sponsor, Moscow, who really stepped up for us, they replaced all of her stuff.
Oh, nice.
They gave her new bags. They gave her like a thermal layer. They really came through. And then another sponsor, Dainese, gave her like riding gear and all this. So my sponsors were really kind, and they sort of like took her into the fold. And, the motorcycle community really stepped up. Her GoFundMe was full and then some within a day.
Wow.
And it was just, it was just awesome because you hear about this all the time. Something happens to a motorcyclist and like this happened to Moyne. He crashed his bike really well.
Yeah.
And then he had people sending him parts from all over.
Yeah, the riding community is pretty amazing how it comes together like that. So how far did Kiva travel with you?
She did from Baja, Mexico. So we met up in San Diego and then all the way to Ushuaia and then back up to Buenos Aires, Argentina. And then I did Western Europe by myself. And then we met up again as a backpacker in Norway. And then we bounced around for a little bit. She would go other places and she was like in Europe, and then we would meet up at certain points. And then in Germany, she got a push bike from Kawasaki, Germany, which was very nice.
Oh, nice.
Of them. Yeah.
Well, and we didn't even say the bike that you chose for this trip. As you're planning, one might think, I mean, other than these nutcases who will travel anywhere on a scooter, one might think, maybe a GS 1200 or a Tenere, something appropriate. No. What did you choose? Yeah.
No, I have a 2020 Kawasaki Versys X300. So
nice.
Yeah, she's just a wee
like
girl.
A great bike.
Yeah, no, it's a great bike. It really is. It's super solid. And I'm sorry, but I do not have the money for a Tenere or a GS. And honestly, I'm so upset at the motorcycling world right now.
Ooh.
Because I got on a dirt bike for the first time in Cali. Isn't it Cali? It's like the highest mountain pass in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
It's in Italy. Torres del Paine? No.
Bagel, have you done that?
I don't think I have.
All right.
Anyway, but I got on a dirt bike and I was like, why? Why have I been riding this giant machine around for no reason other than people told me? And don't get me wrong, I think the bike I had was perfect for me learning, because it was mostly road miles. There was quite a bit of places like roads that might as well have been off-road.
Yeah.
And it did fine on trails and stuff, but it's just so much easier on a dirt bike. And there are plenty of, 400s that you can strap 80 pounds of gear to and be just fine. And you have tons of clearance. You can take the bags off. You can practically pick the thing up. And I'm just so upset because everybody tells you like, oh, you need this big adventure bike to do this. And like, you guys, you're doing it on scooters.
Yep.
Anyway, that's my.
But they're
pretty
crazy.
comfortable scooters.
Yeah. Scooters are actually pretty capable until you get into the big ruts.
Yeah, silt's a problem.
Yeah, then it'll stand up on its own. It's great.
Yeah,
it's auto balancing.
I imagine you can probably strap a rope to it and pull it out yourself.
Possibly, depending on how loaded down you are.
Yeah. But if you like took all the gear off and put it on the other side of the puddle or whatever, could you like?
Right.
Well, look, just so you know, there's different the big bike riders look down at like somebody on a Versys 300, go, they're nuts, right? And then you may be looking at like the scooter guys and go, well, they're nuts. And then they're looking at Moyne, who toured on a Vespa 50 through the mountains, go, well, he's nuts. There's many layers. And then there's like the guy who went around the world on a monkey bike. I mean, there's many layers, but I think that the bike you chose is actually quite appropriate. And I believe you didn't have any issues with it at all, did you?
None at all. And that is the thing.
Oh, that's awesome.
The only problem I ever had with her was one leaky fork seal. Not even two, one.
Oh, and she has a name, doesn't she?
Mab, yeah. Mab.
What does that stand for?
So it was the name of my horse growing up.
Oh.
And I always wanted to do like, there's a town farther away from me, it's called Bayfield, and I always wanted to do like a trip on her, and I never got to, so I named my motorcycle after her.
That's sweet.
Wow. So you're going around, you had the problem in Chile and the community came to you. You go over from there you went over to Europe. Where'd you go from Ushuaia?
Yeah, we went back up to to Buenos Aires, which
Okay.
is, you know, like Argentina's capital city. We did tango in Buenos Aires, which if you know, you know. It's pretty cool.
And so did you have to make all the arrangements in advance for shipping the bike?
Relatively. So we use Dakar Motos, they're out of Buenos Aires, and it was super easy. I contacted them, I think like a month. I contacted them in Colombia, which I did not need to, because if you give them like a week's notice, most of the time they're fine. There are some seasons that they don't ship, but most of the seasons that they don't ship in, you shouldn't be there.
So when you get off the bike and onto a plane, was that a relief? Just to have a different.
Very stressful because my motorcycle wasn't there.
And I think this is something that we can all relate to.
I definitely feel that.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think we can all relate to when, like, just even for me, just driving around the country, and like your world is your bike is on your bike. Like I feel right when I'm on the bike, and if I'm away from it, it's like, oh.
Well, it's all your stuff. It's real. It's your home. Like it's
your home. It's your world.
Everything you have in the world. And like it was Easter when I got to Spain, so there was a holiday, so I didn't get it back for.
They don't mess around with Easter in Spain, do they?
They don't, holidays? Any chance the Spaniards get, they're taking holidays. I love those guys though; they're great. Don't ask them to rush, but they are very fun.
So you're meeting people along the way. You meet a young gentleman caller and going around. Did you like have things set up, and was your community growing online? So you're kind of coordinating things as you're traveling?
A lot in Europe. I had quite a few people that I had talked to online for a while in Europe. Like there was I can't remember her last name, but there's a woman, Vanessa, and she's in the Netherlands right now, I think, or she was. And there was a bunch of people like in Spain, the Netherlands, the UK, Ireland, Norway, Germany, that I had either met or have been talking to while in South America. They were sort of people that other people set me up with, but that I didn't know in like the Middle East. And I don't think there was anyone in Asia that happened with. But
so let me ask you this. What were some of the harder countries, the ones you didn't enjoy as much? And I'm not trying to step on, or diss any countries, but sometimes it's just the bureaucracy of traveling, getting your bike through. There can be, like, I know, Elsbeth talked about India being a nightmare just because of all of that. So what were countries that you struggled with?
I think the country I've struggled with the most was Pakistan. Northern Pakistan, great, amazing. Up in the mountains, like pretty much Islamabad north.
Yep, that's where we've all traveled. Yeah,
but from Lahore down, like from.
Did you go all the way to Karachi?
Yes.
Oh, to the port, to the beach.
Oh no, I didn't go all the way down there, but I had to. I was trying. I went to Kuwaita, and then because Kuwait is like sort of just out of the desert-ish.
Yeah.
And then I had to go over, like down and over, because of the levies and escorts, because there was something going on with Afghanistan at the time.
Right.
So I had to spend and there was an escort of 2 people on a scooter, and they were going 15 miles an hour for 2 hours.
Oh no.
And it was, I don't think it was quite 2 hours. I think it was just an hour, but it felt like 2 hours.
No doubt.
And it's just so hard to go that slow. And, when they were going, 80 kilometers an hour, 50, I was getting great gas mileage. okay, I'm not really in a rush. It's fine. But it's really
All right, so Pakistan, not so great.
Pakistan, Chile, obviously.
Yeah, not so great.
But most of that wasn't Chile's fault. Patagonia area of Chile, really cool. Northern Chile, don't bother.
So I didn't ask you this. Are you camping everywhere? Are you couch surfing? Like, where are you, putting your head every night?
In South America, I camped a lot. Me and Kiva camped a lot. Central Mexico and Central America, it was really hard because there was a lot of people and there wasn't like roads that went to nowhere, and it's not normal there to camp. So it was really hard. And hotels and accommodation are so cheap. Europe, I camped a lot in Europe, and everybody was like, you can't camp in Europe, blah, blah, blah. It was so easy everywhere.
Lots of farms.
Lots of farms. There's the Tets in Europe. It's really easy to just like pop on the Tet for a little bit. Like in Spain, I camped a whole bunch. I think I paid for accommodation 2 or 3 times, maybe. And I was either staying with people or camping. And I would think I was in Europe for 2 or 3 months.
Wow. So then, all right, you went from Europe, then into Asia. Like, how many countries in Asia did you do?
I did. Well,
did you go through China?
No.
Okay.
Because it's very difficult with the being an American trying to get into China, and there's the separate driver's license and all that. So I went through the Middle East. So Asia was, I don't know if you count the Middle East as Asia, but from Turkey, Iraq, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, Oman, UAE, Iran, Pakistan, India for only 3 days. Everybody's like, what was your experience in India? I'm like, I don't know. I closed my eyes and I went through.
Wow, that is very fast.
So I have a question for you about that. Something that, since we all go to Pakistan, and the reason that Moyne does these trips is to change the world's perception. So I'm curious for, Iran, Iraq, a lot of these places, what was your perception? Did you have any fear to go to this part of the world?
No. So I was a little like going into Iraq, there's so much that we're taught as Americans about like the Middle East and Iraq and Iran and all that. And I felt super safe in Iraq. I felt almost too safe. They wouldn't let me do anything dangerous, like go camping. Because there's checkpoints everywhere, and they stop and they check, and they're like, "Oh my God, U.S. passport!" Oh.
Yeah, they don't want anything to happen to you.
No, they're terrified that something's going to happen to you, and your big government's going to come stomping in again.
That's right.
Because that's what happened. Is because they're in a really strategic position, so they like Iran, I think Turkey or China. And the U.S. were all fighting over Iraq.
Mm-hmm.
And she's doing poorly at this point because of it. But I felt fine. And like Kuwait, I went from the Iraqi border through Kuwait to Riyadh in 22 hours.
Wow.
Oh my God.
I went overnight because I needed to get my carnet so I could travel through Asia. And I ended up spending more time in Iraq than I should have. And I just had to rush through there, and I didn't want to cross the Saudi desert during the day because it was already like there was areas that I was going through that were 130 degrees or 56. If you're European.
So then from there, where did you go? Did you hop over to Australia at all?
No, I didn't go to Australia. I went to I flew from Nepal to Thailand, and then rode to Malaysia, and then from Malaysia went to Vancouver, Canada, and then
that's a big difference.
It was seeing Dairy Queen again.
That was it. That was it for you. Huh?
Well, and all the big trucks, like they probably have in Australia, but the massive trucks in Canada and the US, just normal trucks, but they have like, extended cab, 6-foot bed, and they're just huge.
Well, and that's why, we look at a bike like the Versys 300, and the American and probably Canadian mentality is it's way too small, but for most of the world, it is a perfect bike.
Mm-hmm.
We ride 125s and 150s over in Pakistan.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You die on something as big, any bigger.
Well,
so
you can't go fast because there's too much traffic all the time. You're not going more than, if you're going 55 miles an hour, you're going very fast.
Right. So here's a question for you. As you're planning this, and I want you to be honest here, how many countries had you never heard of before?
Luxembourg.
Oh, yeah, that one got me too. Like, what? This is just like a lunch stop with a castle. Like, what? I know.
Yeah. I think Luxembourg is the only one. Because South America,
Were you a good student?
Honestly, I was homeschooled, and that was barely. But because Thomas, my brother, had gone through a motorcycle trip through South America. So I knew the names of the countries, and I had spent so much time looking at them all beforehand. Now there was like the little countries in Eastern Europe. Like I knew the names, but
Liechtenstein. That's a country.
Like Serbia, Austria.
Yeah. Well, even when you get it to some of the stands,
Bulgaria.
A lot of people have never heard of, Turkmenistan, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So you go around and how long did you say? A year and a half?
Yeah. Well, not 15 months.
Okay. Yeah. So 15 months. And did you have like a timetable you had to keep up with? So you like had to keep going. So you really didn't get to stop and enjoy many things, right?
No. And that is something I would never do a motorcycle trip like this ever again. Because one of the stipulations is I couldn't stop in one place for more than 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And because I was trying to get it done before I was 23, there were certain places I really needed to rush. South America, I sort of got to take a little bit of time. We spent too long in Mexico because we spent 2 months in Mexico, which was really awesome, honestly. But it was quite a bit of time. So we went through Central America in 15 days, which was sort of a shame, but being in Central America on a motorcycle is rough.
Yeah.
Not as rough as places in Asia. But I can't say I would want to. I feel a need to go through Mexico or Central America again on a motorcycle. South America, 100%.
Yeah, that has the highway system to easily travel through, right?
South America?
Yeah. I mean,
it's just a little more developed, and I'm just fine for, undeveloped jargon and whatever. But it's just hard to find food, like a meal.
Well, that was the next question I was going to ask you. What were some of your favorite cultures or food that you got to sample?
Mexico had really good shrimp tacos. Like if you went to the coast.
You really are from Wisconsin.
I'm sorry. So much.
I've got 3 taquerias within a block of my house. Yeah. But yes, I get it. And that is true. From Wisconsin. Yeah, you're probably not used to like shrimp tacos, which are so plentiful here. So yeah, those are good. I love them. What about, did you eat anything weird that you're like,
I ate tons of weird stuff.
Yeah.
In Mexico, Mexico honestly has a lot of interesting food. They pickle a lot of different body parts.
They use the whole animal.
Oh yeah.
They use it all.
There was pickled skin, pickled ears, pickled bull dick. I think that was the weirdest thing I ate, was pickled bull dick.
And now the next question is why?
Why was I eating it? Because someone put it on my plate.
Okay.
I'm not judgmental. It looked like food. It was
What about
good.
in Asia? Did you love the food there? Because I would think that'd be a big highlight, traveling in Asia. The food is so good.
It was. Thailand has a very strong Japanese influence. So there's a lot of sushi and ramen everywhere. And I love sushi. Really love sushi.
You're blowing my idea of what a small town girl from Wisconsin is like. Really? Sushi?
I love sushi.
All right.
I really love it.
You really are a worldly person and just hadn't been around the world yet.
I mean, who doesn't? I mean, there's plenty of people that don't love sushi, but I love my, before I was born, my dad was stationed in Okinawa, Japan. And so my family lived there for a few years, and I have siblings that were born there. So there was a lot of, like, we had a Japanese rice cooker growing up. There was a lot of stuff that we had left over from living in Japan.
So you have an adventurous family.
With a little bit of a Japanese influence.
Really
mostly
nice.
in food. So I really love, like, Japan stole pot stickers from China, and I really love pot stickers and just a lot of Asian food. But Peru has really good ceviche.
Good to know.
Argentina, surprisingly, amazing pizza.
Yeah, I can see that.
All good tips.
Mexico doesn't know how to make pizza. Don't get pizza in Mexico.
So other than the happenstance in Chile and the driving really slow through Pakistan, was there any other big hurdles that you had to overcome? Things that you thought, maybe I'm not going to be able to do this?
The only, I don't know if I can do this, I want to go home moment, and it was only for maybe a day, was the week from hell.
What's the week from hell?
The week from hell. The week from hell is, we came into Chile from Argentina, and we're in the Atacama Desert, and we camped. We were going to see this bus in the Atacama Desert in northern Chile.
So this is the big, they're like billboards forever. Come see the bus.
Oh, it was, I think it's in the long way up.
Oh, okay. So there's,
it's just this sort of tourist attraction in the middle of the desert. It's just this old abandoned bus.
I think I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were going to go see that, and we took a wrong turn, and then we were turning around, and Kiva's chain pops off, seizes up, and breaks.
Ooh.
And then she takes my bike and goes and spends the next day rooting around for a chain. I spend the day in the desert, which was okay. It was an experience. And then the next day we leave and we go to the town that we get robbed in. And then we spend a few days in the town trying to figure out stuff. And then I drive we separate for a little bit. I go to Santiago. Same day, I think, Kiva's chain breaks and I get hit by a car.
Oh, what happened?
I was taking a right-hand turn, and there was a bus lane, and I didn't see him in the bus lane, and I became a hood ornament.
Oh.
But it wasn't too bad. The bike, I was pretty okay. And
I think I remember seeing that post on Facebook. Yeah. But the bike was fine, right?
Yeah, the bike was pretty fine. She has a dent in her gas tank from my knee being pushed into the tank. But
that is one of the advantages of the scooter. Can't get your knee bashed into the tank.
That's true. I mean, it really was pretty okay, other than probably a small concussion and a decent scrape on my arm. It was okay. But previous to that, in Colombia, which this is all, I think, within the same month, Colombia I threw out my back trying to pick Kiva's bike up because it had fallen on the kickstand side, and I was trying to pick it up enough to flip the kickstand down. And I think I popped some discs, which was really painful. And then in Peru, I had a decent crash and messed up my knee. And so I was having a lot of like spasms going up my leg from not only my knee, but then my back. So, you know, we got robbed. I was really hurting physically. And then I was really, both me and Kiva were hurting emotionally. And I was just, it was the first and only time I was like, I don't want to do this. I want to go home. I don't know if I can do this. But because
So
didn't have any time to really rest.
Right. So what'd you say to yourself? Suck it up, biker girl. Let's go.
Well, I remember walking in Santiago because I would just walk around cities because that's how I like to see them. And just thinking like, I am going to do this. Like giving up is not an option.
Right.
And then once I said that, it was sort of just, all right, we're doing it. Like that's it, folks.
Did you know you had this in you before you took off?
I think so.
Or did you impress yourself?
Yeah, I grew up on a farm. I'm pretty used to, and it wasn't like.
Can you kill a chicken with one hand?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. She's like, yeah, that's easy. Whoop.
For not to, but
yeah.
no, it was, I grew up with plenty of tough things, not necessarily so many tough things all at once, but
you got grit, girl.
Thanks.
So you get to Canada, now you're like, yay, Dairy Queen.
Yeah, well,
now it's easy, right?
Linda hooked me up with this lovely woman, Sabine, and her family. And then I stayed with her and her two sons for a while we were getting everything sorted. And it was so weird because there was all of these like things everywhere and it was cold. And then my shipment was delayed for the bike, and then I was trying to get it out of customs, and the Canadian custom people were so nice.
Of course they are. They're Canadian.
Yeah. And they definitely moved some things around so I could get it the same day. And then, But the last day on Friday, the day before I was supposed to be in Duluth, I ended up doing 1,000 miles and like.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about this. So again, now you're back in the States. Now you're on the not right bike to be doing an iron butt. So what were you behind schedule? And you had to make it. They're having a party for you, right? And
well, yeah, the party that I had set up. I was like, I'm gonna be here, this, and and then I was having a ride in from Duluth, which is about an hour and a half away from Ashland, where I was having the party. And
you had ideal weather situation, right?
For the season, for November, it was in the morning. So I started in Montana.
Bisbee?
No.
Oh.
It was really nice.
Bozeman?
Bozeman. Yeah, that's what it is. My cousin lives there. And I didn't know he lived. I knew he was in Montana somewhere, but I didn't know. He messaged me while I'm on the bike an hour away from Bozeman. And he's like, hey, if you need a place to stay, I have a place for you in Bozeman. And I was like, that's perfect, because it had been raining. I had camped the night before and it was cold and I was like a little frostbitten. And so I stayed with my cousin and his two dogs and his girlfriend. And his girlfriend's a chef. And she made me like the best meat and potatoes you've ever had. It was like a perfectly cooked steak. I was nice. So floored. And they had this little kitten and it was so cute. Oh my God. It was so cute. It was like hurts your brain. So cute.
I have to imagine like since you read Elsbeth's book, you know that there were times it was hard, but she said by the time she got to like Turkey and then like she's getting into Europe, like she got this wind because she could, things were becoming more and more familiar and she knew she could make it at that moment. So was it once you got to Canada that you're like, I got this, like I can do this?
I was like, all right, this is the last stretch, but it wasn't until I like pulled up outside my brother's house that I was, I'm here. Because there was always, what if there's black ice on the road or something else?
Yeah, we didn't finish that. You did 1,000 miles.
Yeah.
And how long did it take you to do that?
I left the gas station just outside my cousin's house at 5:30, and I got to Bozeman, Montana to Duluth, Minnesota, 5:30 to I think it was 11:30, 11 something.
Wow. And you had people there waiting for you.
Day.
Yeah, and it was Kiva and Rory, because Rory had flown in and they were in a hotel. So I was like, I'm not stopping. And I was totally speeding. And there was the documentary crew behind me. And I'm
wait a minute. Wait, what? You didn't mention that.
Oh, the documentary crew?
Where were they? How long were they following you?
Just not long. They just in the States. They met up with me.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. But they were just behind me and my tail light was out.
Oh.
And so here's this motorcycle going like too fast in a too slow area. And they're trying to keep up with me and a cop pulls them over and is like, do you know what's going on here?
Was this the only time you got pulled over on the entire trip?
I didn't get pulled over because I was gone.
Okay.
Yeah.
You didn't get pulled over?
We got pulled over once in Mexico, I think. But they let us go.
Oh, well, that was nice.
Yeah.
But you didn't have to pay them?
No.
Well, and I know there's video of you, I guess, was it the next day when you arrived during the day and there was a group of people there waiting? Because I think Linda was there. Mm-hmm. And you're just like, hold on, let me get my helmet off. And just turn around. Oh, hey. Like, you seem kind of in a fog.
I was definitely tired.
Yeah.
I think it was just like, there were so many people that I knew, and it was so long since there had been people that I knew. Yeah. And so I was just so excited to see everybody. I was like, oh!
Yeah, that was pretty cool to see your homecoming and you made it. But now, and I know especially Steph and Bagel can understand acclimating back to life. How is that going for you? Because I'm guessing everything's been a whirlwind. Like just like, is it like almost like a dream, everything now?
A little bit. It came back to normal like a lot faster than I thought it would. But I also, until the day before yesterday, like Kiva and Rory were here. So there was something familiar to my travels. And like our friend Ryan, who me and Kiva had met in South America, he came for a week too. Nice. And he was hanging out with us. So there was things that were very familiar to me.
This is like, you could, like, this is what the writers in the script made this story. Like all the people you met along the way, all coming out to be there at the end.
Sort of, yeah.
Yeah, that is really cool. Well, and I wanted to give you an opportunity because I know that there were people that helped you and sponsors. This is your opportunity to do some thanks if you would like to get that in.
Okay. Well, first of all, I want to thank, is it Wema?
Yeah, Wema.
Yeah, Wema, who helped me a lot when everything got stolen, and they're just super nice. So big thank you to them.
That is the Women's International Motorcycle Association.
Yep. And then, God, there's so many people but like
plug your sponsors.
I'm plugging.
Okay.
So my best and most consistent sponsors were initially Tucker Powered Sports. They helped me a lot when I was in the States, but they're mostly state-based, so it was harder when I went other places. But then Aerostitch, they gave me my riding suit, and then later when my style changed, they gave me a riding jacket. Moscow Moto, who helped a ton with getting things, and then like I had gone to a motorcycle event or two, and they like ABR, and they paid for me to get into ABR. And those are like sort of the sponsors that stuck with me and did the most.
Great.
I tried to keep the sponsorship thin so simple. I could have a lot of.
Always plug your sponsors. That's my top tip for you. So, and here's a question for somebody thinking they want to do some stupid idea like this. How much money does it cost, and how in debt are you right now?
I'm not super in debt, but there's definitely a few thou that are owed to a few people. I'm having a lot of trouble with the company that shipped over my motorcycle because they're super uncoordinated, and I owe them $4,000, but they're really bad at telling me how to pay them.
They won't let you pay.
Well, no, they pay them. And I'm like, guys, if you don't want me to pay, that's fine. I'll use the money. But it's not like I did a lot of fundraising, so it's not really my money. And I have money that I started, like emergency money that I started with. So I have about $700 to my name right now.
So if somebody wanted to do this, how much money would you tell them they're going to need?
If they did all the way around the world and did not work at all along the way, I would say 40,000.
That's it?
Yeah.
Did you work along the way?
No. Because I couldn't stop in one place for more than 2 weeks, and I have no skills in remote work. But if you have a remote job, I would start
like Steph does.
If you could start with $3,000 or $4,000 as a cushion, you'll be fine. Like once you get around, if you're in the States, get out of the States. If you're in Europe, try not to spend too much time in Europe. And once you get into like South America or Asia, things become a lot more affordable, and housing and whatever fuel. I did camp a lot. So as long as you're comfortable camping, you could easily go to the tip of South America and possibly get your bike home for $10,000.
Wow.
It was $2,000 to ship my bike to Spain. So it was $2,000. It's $1,000 to go across the Darien Gap with your motorcycle. Yeah. It was around $2,000 to ship mine to Spain.
So these are the big expenses.
Yeah. And the shipping the bike was the thing that was the biggest expense once, which was $1,000 and $2,000 for South America, which of course that changes. And then shipping, because Myanmar's land border is closed. So again, it was actually only $800 to ship from Nepal to Thailand.
Wow.
But then it was $4,000 to ship it home. And I went like the cheapest option. But there was a lot of quotes that were around $7,000 because it's very expensive to ship out of Asia.
So do you consider yourself a world traveling motorcyclist? Like, do you think you'll continue traveling by motorbike?
I think so in the future. I think the next few years of my life are going to look pretty different. I think I'm going to try and maintain the connections that I've made in motorcycling. But
didn't you just get the equivalent of a college degree?
I think so.
Somebody give her a
it's a
diploma.
different kind of education.
It is, and I like this one.
Yeah. I was gonna ask, like, what do you think will be next for you?
I am going to try and go back to sailing and get my captain's license. Finish getting my captain's license. I need to calculate. I think I still have all the time for it, so I just need to take a test. And then sometime, I would love to get my pilot's license.
Wow.
And have the trifecta.
A lot of hours.
You really do have. You're not meant to stay in a small town.
Domestic license, it's only like for a private license, so it's just you flying around in the plane. It's like 24 hours.
And have you gotten back onto your time zone now? Are you sleeping regularly yet?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a hard one. But at least when you're traveling, you're slowly changing. Well, it sounds like you're just kind of getting back to normal life. You're probably not making any big plans. So I'm just going to throw one out there. Just an offer. If you're interested and want to come back to Pakistan, I'm taking a group of women in September to go ride northern Pakistan with my boy Moin.
It's gonna be like Chikistan 3 or 4 now.
5.
5?
Yeah, 5. I know. So just throwing that out there if you'd like to go back. But I can understand you probably have a list of countries you want to go back to.
I don't think until it changes, I ever want to go back to southern Pakistan.
No, I won't make you go there. I won't make you do that.
That was really hard.
No, in northern Pakistan, we get to do dangerous stuff. It's fun.
Well, it's also like, I don't know if I'll be around, but hopefully I'll have a job by then and money again.
Well, it's a really cool,
those boring things.
It's a really cool story. And I just love that. Yeah. You know, you can look at it as like, you're this small town girl. Who are you to think you can do this big thing? But you have this confidence and this grit. And that's something that I love, that you're like, why not me? Right.
The confidence. Well, I always used to say the confidence I have never earned, that I have no right to have. But now, I've done it. So
you've done it.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Just flash the Guinness plaque. Whenever anyone questions you, just be like, this one in the background, like right here.
Do you have a Guinness World Record? I don't think so.
It's like you put in your jacket.
So on this wall right here, there's Kiva brought some posters back from Argentina.
Oh,
right
cool.
Here my high school equivalency diploma, because I never went to high school because I was homeschooled, but
cool.
I'll show them. Well, and here's the other question I have for you. I know you love Mabe, and you had Mabe decorated, especially something special in Pakistan.
So much fun.
Yeah, Bagel, did you get that picture I sent you?
I did. I saw that. That's awesome.
You want to see it? She's in the basement.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Steph, you remember when
I haven't seen it.
So when Steph and I were there, we went to one of the truck stores and bought all the stickers and everything and decorated our helmets because we love how the trucks look. But you kind of took it a step further, didn't you?
Well, there are people that get their whole bike done.
Yeah, check it out.
Oh my goodness.
With the eyes, remember? We got eyes on our helmets too.
You gotta, yep.
Nice.
Yeah. That is so
still
cool.
on my helmet in Portugal right now. Oh, that looks great.
Yeah. Well, I know
cool.
you love that bike to death, but here's a question I have to ask you. What is your next bike going to be?
Dirt bike.
Ooh, what kind?
Any particular one?
I'm not sure yet. My boy is like KTM, and I'm like, I'm not ready for a KTM.
KTM. Keep throwing money.
Cowie, something like a Yamaha or a Cowie, something reliable that I can beat up for a while until I know what I'm doing.
Well, fun, and you don't feel any pressure to keep one upping and doing something bigger, like you've burnt out young. I have to say, like,
yeah, I was like, what?
Flamed out.
What exactly is bigger?
I feel like I did the biggest thing, and now I get to do the little things.
Well, it is kind of fascinating because, Elsbeth was quite young when she did it, and she came home, put everything away. And it wasn't until years later that people wanted to hear her story. And, that may be one of those things where like, once all the attention in the media dies down, that like, 20 years from now, you might like be, well, I did this thing once.
Mm-hmm. Well, I suspect I'll continue to be cool.
Obviously.
There's that.
Yeah. Well, and I'm sort of tentatively like planning in the distant to near future, like a sailing trip to South America or a sailing trip to Europe.
So we might be seeing big things come out of you in the future.
Well, once you do this, like, that you can do the reason I didn't do things when I was younger is because I didn't know I could. And now that I am like, well, hell yeah,
Yeah,
Mars is the limit.
That's pretty cool.
You could put a dirt bike on a sailboat and then get to Mars.
Oh, do you know here? I'm just going to give you. It's already been done, so you won't be the first. But a friend of the show, Steph Jevons. Have you heard of her?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, Steph, right? First person to ride on every continent. She had to get her dirt bike onto a sailboat to Antarctica. Right around Antarctica.
It was so funny because I didn't really introduce myself to her or anything, but she was at ABR and she was it was really funny because Rory was with me and it was later in the evening, so there was just like the partiers around, and there was this woman dance like on top of a table saying something, and Rory was like, "You see that woman? That's Steph Jevons. She went to all continents on a motorcycle." And I was like, the woman dancing on the table? And he was like, "Yep." And I was like, "Cool."
Here's a goal for you, because I'm guessing you might be visiting UK in the near future. Mm-hmm. She has a dirt biking camp in North Wales.
Oh.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I mean, I might be. I'm going in January for my boy's birthday.
So. I'm going in December.
It's
pretty. I like it over there. Well, before we let her go, Bagel and Stephanie, do you have any last questions for her? I have a question for you, Stephanie. Hearing her story, does it get your juices going to like hit the? Well, you live on the road already, but to go further, go bigger.
It's a different thing. Like I've always wanted to go farther. Like I don't know, farther. The Vespa's in Europe now, and like I ride a bit in Asia, and like I don't have the same kind of drive to do everything on one bike. I'm much more like, whatever, I'm here for the experience. I really don't care very much about like taking one bike along with me. And I also really like going slow. Like it's more and more I want to go slower and spend more time in every different culture. So it's like really inspiring to hear like that. You can just do this. It's one of those like, did you know people can just do this? It's great.
You don't even have, no one even has to tell you can. You can just tell yourself.
You just like go and do it, and like you'll make it happen. And that's always really cool. But I'm also like full-time.
Yeah, no, keep going.
Oh, I'm full-time in the van right now. Yeah. Oh, which I heard Steph
that's
Jevons
really
also
cushy.
has a van. This is a major upgrade from living on a Vespa. Just want to say, after many years of living on a Vespa and then a few other bikes around the world, the van is very cozy. So that's been a fun one to explore for now. It's different to have the van. It's just a different mode of travel. And I miss camping on bikes. I think I'll go back to it someday, but it's a lot easier to hold down a full-time job in a nice, comfortable, luxurious van that is purpose-built for this. Mm-hmm. So, and I haul my BMW cross country on the back.
Yeah,
it's currently in pieces over there.
And Bridget, that's why I was, when I knew that Steph was with Bagel, I'm like, oh, we got to get her on, because you're back home now, and home is usually where people are grounded. But Steph is unlike most people. I think you're grounded traveling. Like you were miserable when you were holed up in one place during COVID.
Yeah, pandemic
Like-
sucked. I mean, it sucked
like,
for everyone, but
It's okay
That
to
just-
live life free.
just yeah, pandemic just highlighted how much of like I don't know. I just I lived on my bike for so long, and now I know like I carry my home inside me,
Yeah.
and that's
Like all the
Yeah.
people, all the people home. Like I have a 6-year-old niece and now a 4-month-old niece, and like my brother and my family. I didn't really miss the place. I missed like I went too fast. I totally agree with you. Like the farther you go, the slower you want to go. But I missed the peace of being home and not having to worry about planning the next place I was going. But I missed the people the most, and like all the friends that I have back here that I grew up with and everything.
for sure.
Right. Bagel, you have a last question?
I don't know if I have any questions. I mean, there's so many things that we've covered already. But I'm really impressed and amazed at how well you did on that trip. Because especially with the way things are around the world right now, it seems like it's more difficult than ever to travel around the world, and that's something that I like to do long distance riding, and I've always thought kind of the ultimate thing would be to ride around the world, especially on a scooter, because so few people have done that. But it just seems like it's such a challenge with all of the conflicts and just drama that's happening around the world right now. But you managed to make it to places like Iran, and I think that's absolutely wonderful. And that tells me that where there is a will, there is a way. And so maybe there is still some chance that I could do that one of these days, because I would absolutely love to do an around the world trip too myself.
Well,
Oh yeah.
Bridget, is it sinking in that you've become an inspiration to people?
I think it was sunken more on the trip, and I think now that I'm back home, I like remember that I went around the world on a motorcycle, and I'm like, holy crap. It was like finding $100 bill in your pocket. And
Remember that time I did that thing?
Finding them.
Well, and have you been getting a lot of interviews?
I've been getting a lot of requests, and it's a little overwhelming.
Well, I wanted to thank you for taking the time, because I did use some of my circles to like, hey, I need you to nudge her for me, because
that was a good call. And
I've been following you.
And I'm very glad to do the interview. And I think this will help me like sort of kickstart myself. Because I've had enough time now, and like Rory and Kiva are gone, so I don't feel bad about not spending time with them.
Right.
And to go do an interview. But there's like a few more podcasts and people that want me to come do places. And now I have some almost tragic peace and quiet to go respond to emails and answer requests.
Well, I wanted to, thank you for responding, because like I said, I've been following you, and just having so many people in our circle together, I'm like, I want to tell her story. I want to tell her story, but I was also trying to give you some time to recover, because that is a whirlwind to come back from.
Oh, actually, I do have one last question. When exactly was it that you ended your trip?
November 4th.
November 4th, and it's now November 19th, so like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
I gave her 2 weeks.
The road trip.
Thank you.
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks.
That's amazing. Because this is like super fresh.
Exactly. And again, that's why I want to share the story, because it is a pretty big deal, and an inspiration to a lot of women riders, saying that you can do this too. And also to small town folk, that they can have big world dreams and get it done. But it also takes about 10% just nut job to be able to do it too.
It does. Like you do have to have a certain amount of recklessness to, because you're absolutely putting your life at risk.
Oh yeah.
Not in, like you put your life at risk most days without realizing it, but to do it on purpose, you have to be a little
right. Well, we're going to let you go. Thank you very much. And if people want to learn more about you and be able to maybe find out when this documentary is going to come out, should they go to your website? Where do you want them to go?
The website is super out of date. I would probably social media. Instagram, Facebook. If you look up Bridget McCutchen, you'll find me.
That's two.
Go around the world on a motorcycle.
That's 3 C's. Right?
What?
3 C's.
McCutchen?
Yeah.
No, it's only 2. Oh, actually, no, it is 3 because there's
3
2
total.
in front and 1 in the back.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. There's 3 C's.
There's no O.
Okay.
MCCUTCHEN, not CH.
Well,
good to know.
And then I know the last part for doing the paperwork and everything for Guinness, that's a whole nother job in itself. And people don't realize it costs money to submit as well.
I don't think it costs a ton of money, but it does.
Yeah, but you got to get everything.
Yeah, they're like, is Guinness paying you? I'm like, bitch, no.
No, but we know other Guinness World Records, so I'd add you to the list with Wendy Crockett and with Dan Lynn, who we all know.
Yeah, Danelle.
Yeah. The let's see, long distance riders,
I think it was longest continuous motorcycle trip in one country
in 1 year. Was it like 78,000 miles in the US?
I don't remember exactly.
Yeah.
But it was also a lot of stipulations of like can't be outside the country for more than 2 weeks or something.
Yeah, but just know with people like Wendy Crockett, Dan Lynn, Elsbeth Beard, all friends of ours, you're in good company. Steph Jevons. I add you to the list of people now, and you don't realize it, but you're going to have a whole career speaking at motorcycle events. Ooh.
I tried so hard to make motorcycles.
What are you doing in July? What are you doing in July?
Oh my God.
How far are you from Ohio?
Sailing on a boat. Being on a boat.
Can you sail the boat to Ohio?
Ooh.
No.
Not a lot of navigable rivers in Lexington, Ohio, I think.
Bagel and I are going to be at AMA Vintage Days, and we often help come up with like speakers for seminars. I would love to throw out an unofficial invite and have you come speak there.
I can tell you probably a month beforehand what's going on.
I will stay in touch because you're now on the list. Nice. Well, good. Well, we're going to let you go. Thank you very much, Bridget, and congratulations.
Thank you.
It's
excellent
amazing
job.
What you did.
Yeah.
Thanks for the interview. It was nice talking to you guys.
Yeah. All right.
Thanks
See
for
you.
Ciao.
See ya.
Care.
So isn't that amazing?
That was awesome.
Pretty
cool.
That is
really awesome. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I do have an email here. Let me see. This is in regard to our episode number 397 about Eric Buell. And this is an email from Stephanie, a different Stephanie. And this is Stephanie writes, hello, Misfits. Like a lot of your listeners, I'm working my way through some of your older podcasts. It was interesting to hear how you all handled the shit show that was 2020 with the pandemic. I work for an independent bike shop called Bikes Built Better in Horsham, Pennsylvania. When the lockdown started, we couldn't figure out if we were essential or not. So the boss laid us all off and told us to stay home. He would go in and work on bikes as needed, but kept the showroom lights off, so it looked like we were closed. One day, I had to go to the shop for something. I thought the motorcycle might attract unwanted attention, so I drove the car. Just as I was getting out of the car at Bikes Built Better, 7 police motorcycles came roaring into the lot and pulled up at the front door. I froze. Were we getting busted for working on motorcycles? Should I jump back in the car and run? Then one of the officers saw me and waved, so I followed them in at a safe distance. Turns out one of the bikes badly needed a clutch, and we were informed that Bikes Built Better was indeed essential. Whew. I also loved your episode 397, the interview with Eric Buell. I owned a 1997 Buell Thunderbolt, which I originally bought for track days for 20 years and put 77,000 miles on it.
Whoa.
I really loved that motorcycle, but it was getting hard to find chassis parts, which were all Buell specific. So I sold it to a collector. Buells were really great bikes, but the Harley dealers never gave them the love or understanding that they deserved. And I think that had a lot to do with their lackluster sales. The Buell Ulysses was my especial favorite. I got to spend a day riding one at a press intro near Big Bear Lake when it first came out, and I absolutely loved it, even though I couldn't put both feet down, even with the low quote-unquote seat. 4 years ago, I bought a 2018 V-Strom 1000, which reminds me very much of the Ulysses, but I can get parts for it. And it was heartbreaking to hear the whole story of how Harley and Hero worked Eric over. He really is an engineering genius. I also own a 1990 FXRP police bike, but never knew that Eric worked on the FXR chassis.
Right.
Now I know that was such a great motorcycle. Quick story, around 1999, I was in Daytona Bike Week, and we attended Reg Cottrell's Battle Tracks. That was a parking lot gymkhana for motorcycles.
All right,
and it
hold
was
on.
really fun.
Reg Cottrell lives here. I know Reg Cottrell.
Yeah.
I didn't know he did this.
He wrote a book even.
Now
we're learning things. I mean, this is why,
now I got to hit him up and go, wait a minute.
this is why our listeners are awesome, right?
Yeah.
So he says that was a parking lot gym. She says that was a parking lot gymkhana for motorcycles, and it was really fun to compete in. My Buell had just had a 10,000 mile service at a Harley dealer and was acting very strange. It would not go straight at low speeds, but it felt like it was squirming like a sidewinder. Eric Buell was at that Battle Tracks, and I asked him if he had any idea what could be causing that, since the dealer said they rode it and everything was fine. How often have we heard that one? So Eric jumped on my Buell and took a test ride on the parking lot. He then told me that the steering head bearings were either too tight or worn out, and he was right. I sure hope that Eric gets the funding that he needs to be successful. He deserves a real win after all the crap he's been through. Meanwhile, I'll continue my way through your podcasts. And P.S., I loved your mini interview with Chris Comley, Iron Butt Extraordinaire, in episode 391, also Philly Boy. He is one of my favorite customers here at Bikes Built Better.
Oh, cool.
Thanks very much, Stephanie.
Wow, there's a lot in that story. How cool to have Eric Buell ride your Buell.
Right?
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Tell you what the Harley dealer screwed up.
And Eric was one of my favorite interviews. He's a really, really cool guy. All right,
that was a cool interview.
I have one here, and this one is from Josh from Lebanon, Pennsylvania. Says, hey, Misfits, I was catching up on the recent episodes and wanted to share my thoughts. Personally, I often like yellow bikes. No, I hate yellow bikes. Like the ZX6R I used to own. When I saw the yellow Sportster, I hate the yellow Sportster. In person, I liked it and found it striking. Plus, yellow is highly visible since there's often advocacy for safety on the podcast. Yeah, you got me there. However, I know I am drawn to flashier colored bikes most of the time, like my Kinetic Green Street Glide. In a world where one can still customize a bike, white is the choice. Decals or painting is easy with a white base. In a world where the color of the bike is not allowed to be changed in any way, black is a choice for simplicity and how it goes with almost any style. Lastly, come out to Gettysburg Bike Week. Now, I know it's Harley's, and I anticipate the groans. However, think of the stereotypes you'll see and can share on the podcast. You'll get lots of history on the battlefield and can travel to other nearby areas as well. Visit Hershey, Pennsylvania and Chocolate World and see some Amish. That is always a perk for me when I get to see Amish. If you actually decide to come out for Bike Week or make a trip to the Tail of the Dragon, announce dates and I'll do my best to come hang out. Well, thank you so much. Steph, what is the right color for a motorcycle?
Like me?
Yeah.
The right color? I think
what is the right color? You can one color for all motorcycles. What's the right color?
Oh,
Oh, for all motors, that'd be weird.
All motorcycles.
I don't know.
You can only have one color for all
I lean
motorcycles.
towards blue, but that's like just a personal bias.
You're wrong. The answer is
Yeah.
silver.
Okay.
Silver is the one true color that will go across all brands and not look weird. That's my opinion.
Fair.
Full disclosure, that's my opinion. But yellow, I have to say, my dislike for the yellow comes from the yellow Sportster, which I think is one of the ugliest yellows I've ever seen. I had a friend who had one, and she loved her bike so much I couldn't share with her my distaste for the color. But that's where I'm like, oh, this is so ugly.
Huh.
That's where it comes from.
Never knew that. And I have a yellow bike.
I have a yellow bike. I get it.
I never thought I'd have a yellow bike, but
I get it. I have another one. Yeah.
Too.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. You do.
I have another one here. There's somebody who is looking for some advice.
Oh.
And this is from Phil, not our Phil from Cleveland. Hey, Phil, how you doing? But he also sent this to Cleveland Moto, so heads up.
Oh.
Yeah, he's asking both of us for help. He says,
He's double tapping.
He's double tapping. He says, hey there, hope you're having a good. Okay. For about 6 years, my trusty steed has been a 91 Yamaha Virago 750. But for years, I've had my eyes on the two-wheeled recliner Harley calls the Electroglide Ultra Classic. Now, I'm not buying new something late 90s to around 07. What's your opinion on that? Or should I look around for a metric equivalent to it? I love that exhaust note. I don't put a ton of miles down each year, somewhere around enough to wear out a cheap tire a season. Oh, okay. The Yamaha has been a good bike, but just need a bigger one, and I have added a fairing and stereo as well as bags and top case, so it's overloaded. Yeah, I would say you've been trying to turn that Virago into the bike you want it to be. Now, my advice, and I'm not going to shit on the Harley here. I'm not going to. The Electroglides are pretty cool. It's a land yacht, you know. And if you're doing long distance riding, then that's a great bike. So is a Goldwing, or so is I don't know what the latest Yamaha is, the Roadstar or whatever it is now, Roadliner, I think. I like metric cruisers too. Here's the thing though. Harleys will be more expensive because you're buying a pass into the club.
Right.
So how important is it to you to be in the club? To be able to go to an event or a gathering and be one of the guys who's accepted because you're on a Harley? Because I have found in general that if you're on a metric cruiser, it's not cool. You're not accepted. But if you don't give a flying poop about being accepted and you're just a solo rider, you can get a much better bike for a lot less money in a metric cruiser. Just saying. But I do understand that if all your buddies are riding Harleys, it is a pass into the club. So you have to decide what's most important to you. But and getting into like a 90s touring bike, you're going to find that they come with a lot of special things on them that may be starting to go out. They may have like air suspension or this and that. Just remember that things start to go bad, and it's usually the expensive perks. Oh no, cat on the soundboard again. Oh, it's a different cat too. So I would also throw in, and I think maybe I can get Steph to back me up, don't rule out a BMW. BMWs are excellent bikes for comfort and cruising and touring.
They are quite comfortable. I mean, they are also bring more wallet, but not, I don't think quite as much as Harley Davidson.
Yeah, but like, what do you think of the R18? Is pretty cool, but that's a newer bike.
Yeah, I like the old sport tours.
Yeah, and also don't count out Italians. Some of the Moto Guzzi
Aprilia
touring bikes are pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of bikes. I think it's going to come down to budget and what kind of accessories and perks. But it sounds like you want comfort, leisure, radio, a windshield. You want a land yacht, then I would say if you're not looking at a Goldwing, or if you want that sound, that pop, 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 pop.
The potato sound.
That's like a very specific.
Yeah,
very
so you're
specific
probably
sound.
looking at Suzuki or Yamaha or Moto Guzzi, right? Because that's a twin, or a Harley.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
I would open yourself up to any of those. And I bet you Phil will even suggest a Moto Guzzi too. They're kind of cool.
Yeah.
Look at the Flying Fortress. Right?
Yeah.
All right. Bagel, do you have another one there?
I do. This is an email from Michael Dominguez.
Hey, Michael.
And Michael writes, "Hello, motorcycles and misfits. I am new to the motorcycle world and wanted to tell you a little story. It was probably a year ago when I saw a little motorcycle sitting outside a coffee shop. I had no knowledge of bikes and couldn't tell you what it was, but I was entranced by the way it looked. I had never seen a motorcycle that looked like that. Low to the ground, all blacked out, and a unique headlight. Without even realizing it, that moment was an integral part to my motorcycle story. I never thought about that motorcycle again until about a month ago. I was thinking about how I could mod my new truck or do something that would require to get my hands dirty. But I kept saying to myself, no, it's too expensive. You could mess up your truck. It's just not worth it, etc. I've never done anything more than an oil change. I knew something could go wrong, but then something clicked. I was reminded of that motorcycle. I could see the headlight and all the blacked out look. Sitting at my computer, I looked up mods for motorcycles, and I instantly jumped into the world of motorcycles. How easy it was to put on a slip-on exhaust and aftermarket levers. Plus, it wouldn't be my daily driver, it would be for fun. From then on, I needed to learn everything that I could. What kinds of bikes are out there? What could be the first mods to do? What was the first bike that I saw outside the coffee shop? It was fairly easy to find. After a few searches, I found that it was a Honda Rebel, probably a 300 or 500. Since then, I have watched all the YouTube videos. Yummy Noob, Fort 9, Doodle on a Motorcycle, Revzilla. I needed more. I started watching MotoGP. But of course, I needed something to help me get into the mechanical side of motorcycles. That is where Motorcycles and Misfits came in.
Hey, that's us.
You guys have a garage. You guys have Emma, who taught me about what Desmo valves are. I learned more and more about motorcycles, and I have been listening to your podcast ever since. There is one problem. My wife is adamantly against motorcycles.
Oh, I have a solution for that. Get her a scooter.
Maybe. She thinks that it's reckless. Although she has compromised and is comfortable with me riding a dirt bike, no motocross, no street riding, just trails, I guess. I will continue to work with her. I'm trying to see if she will take the MSF course with me, but she knows that is the first step to a license and my entrance into riding on the street. That is my story, but I have a request as well.
Okay.
I heard you have gear,
yes,
and I know you're running short on it. But would you be willing to send some to Texas, where I live? I would pay for the shipping. I would love to talk to you more about motorcycles. I have many ideas for what my first bike might be: Honda Rebel 500 or the KTM 390 ADV, or maybe even an MT-07. But with the constraints from the deal with my wife, I was thinking for my first bike, I would get the Suzuki DR650. What do you all think? What kind of riding could I do other than trails? Thank you, Michael Dominguez.
So first I wanted to address the gear. Yeah, we've been getting rid of a lot of gear. A lot of happy people this week got some gear. But
Awesome.
I am not going to ship gear anywhere. Then it becomes a job for me. And the problem is it's changing all the time. The other problem is, and people are asking me like, well, what size do you have in this? I'm like, I don't know. What do you have any of this? Like, I don't know. You have to go through the racks. It's not organized.
We don't have an inventory.
We don't have an inventory.
We have a pile.
But anyone is welcome to show up and go through and take anything at all that they want. But I'm not going to go through and take pictures and look for things that fit you and then box it all up and ship it out. I'm really sorry, but that's kind of where I have to draw the line in being able to offer free gear to the community. It's not my job. I don't make any money off of it. So already I've really, had to kick some of my bikes out of my garage to set up racks and tables. So I've already made that sacrifice. But if anyone finds themselves out here and wants to go through, you're welcome to anything you find.
But airfare these days is cheap. And if Michael wants to come out for a Sunday, you can always come take a look.
Exactly. And as for the bike, Suzuki DR650 is great. You don't even have to go that big, but I love the idea of like a dual sport enduro, even like a CRF 300 or even a Royal Enfield Himalayan, which looks dirt bikey.
Or what about John's favorite, the KLR?
Yeah, a KLR. There's a lot of bikes in that, but I think, and I'm just assuming here because none of us really have partners that worry about us, right? So I'm gonna just take a guess that the best thing to do is to wear the best gear that you can and never break that rule, and get advanced training. And give yourself all the skills that you can to lessen the risk. And when you tell somebody you're doing that may ease them a bit. I don't know if having her do the class is going to help because she may get spooked and not like it.
Yeah, that's true.
But her fear, although it may be irrational, is for you. So do everything you can to lessen the risk. High vis vest, break free on your helmet, headlight modulators. Show her all the things you're doing to lessen the risk. I would say would be and that's not going out of your way. We all use those things already. We already do that by choice.
Yeah. And plus the fact that the MSF or other comparable courses, they give you much more advanced instruction than what is required by most states' driver's tests for motorcycles. That honestly, that is the one of the best things that you can do to keep yourself safe when you're riding. So, I would hope that would help put his wife's mind at more ease. If anything could, I would think that would probably would.
Here's the thing: don't do it for her. Do it for you. Give yourself the best odds. And this is the thing that everybody should. But smaller bikes, and here's the thing: smaller bikes don't always give you the power to maneuver out of a situation.
But smaller bikes are more maneuverable too. And as long as you have enough power, to accelerate when you need to. Yeah.
But I'm saying like a CRF 250 compared to a DR 650, you can argue that having more power gives you more capabilities to remove yourself from a situation.
If you have the skill to do it, though, that's the thing.
Which comes in
as a new rider.
As a newer rider, you're not necessarily.
Power could be more dangerous.
Yeah, newer rider, not necessarily going to.
So get a KLR 650. It's a win-win all the way around. No one gets in trouble on a KLR. KLR and a safety vest. You're good.
Yep.
Because you can still tour on it. I mean, our friend Michelle here went all the way to Ushuaia on hers. I was actually surprised that Bridget didn't choose a KLR, which is a very affordable bike that can haul a lot of gear and is easy to repair and maintain. But
the Versys is also a great choice. So
I think it proved itself. The fact that she barely had any problems, like
absolutely,
not even wheel bearing or
Sure,
anything.
yeah.
I mean, wow.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So, just in wrapping up, doesn't it make the world smaller? Like meeting Bridget, who went around the world, who knows people that we know around the world.
Yep.
It really is a smaller world.
I mean, I think motorcycling especially is just like eventually, like whatever it is, 6 degrees of separation, it's got to be smaller for motorcycling, especially if it's like extended over landing on bikes. I think it is a surprisingly small world.
Right.
6 degrees of Moin Con.
Yeah.
That's going to be like 2 degrees.
And I wanted to give a big thanks to my friend Linda, who's the one who I called when Bridget hadn't responded yet. And I knew that Linda had been there to help her in Chile and had been there on her return and had an in. I'm like, Linda, give her the good word on my show. And
nice.
She said, yeah. She said, okay. So that was great.
Awesome.
So thank you, Linda, for reaching out to Bridget for us. And yeah, sometimes you got to play a little dirty, get them to come out of the weeds. But what an amazing young woman, right?
Yeah, absolutely. That was a fantastic story. I am thoroughly impressed. That was just amazing.
And that's why I really wanted to get on this. I'm not saying we've got the scoop. There's a lot of people who are covering her, but it's so new. And she's somebody who's just been added to that list of all these amazing, accomplished riders we know.
It's just literally like 2 weeks back.
Yeah.
Still reeling. I can't imagine.
I know.
Yep.
Well, Steph, are you going to find yourself down here in April for our rally again?
I would love to. It was really fun last year.
Well, great. I hope you will come back for it. Matt was here today and I said, I've been promoted. And he goes, oh, geez, I haven't updated the website to buy tickets yet. But if anyone is interested, it's going to be April 18th through 21st. Put it on your calendar, Steph. And you can register on his website to get notified as soon as the tickets go up. And we're already, I think, a third of the way through, just not in ticket sales, but people who said they want to buy a ticket as soon as he's ready. We're already a third of the way.
Wow.
There, I think. Yeah. Nice. So there's a big interest. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, come to our Misfits rally in April 18th to 21st. I put the link in our notes so you can go to Breaking Away Adventures and find out more about it there. And Steph, if you're coming, I want to do like a storytelling hour rather than an interview like we did last time. I want to get some like past guests of ours to come and like tell their story around the campfire kind of thing. You would be good for that.
That'd be great. I might be drunk.
It makes a better story.
Yes.
That's awesome. Well, this is the time that we say thanks to everyone for helping us out. Coming by and getting gear. We had a bunch today, so that's good. I got a lot of pants. Please come take pants. And especially to our Patreon subscribers. We love you guys. But again, thanks to Bridget for sharing her story. I'm sure she's still just kind of like, that is so hard to come back from an epic trip like that and just be back into your life. And like, did that really happen?
Yeah, I can't. You know? Yep. That is like some kind of whiplash. Yeah. Like arriving back in North America and be like, oh, there's Dairy Queens.
I know. I think that's funny. Go to motorcyclesandmisfits.com and you'll find links to everything. One thing you won't find there are t-shirts because we are sold out.
Ooh.
The last order came in today.
Wow.
Yeah, they are sold out. So, but this is why you may want to become a Patreon supporter, because every year in the spring, we design a new t-shirt and ship them out to everyone. Ooh, Steph, you want to design a shirt for us?
Yeah, sure. What do you need on it?
Oh,
I can draw motorcycles.
I'll talk to you about that. Ooh.
Awesome.
Oh, yeah. I'll talk to you about that. Well, let's get out of here. And again, Bagel, thank you for being the misfit that shows up. Everyone's going to be coming back. I think Emma might be back next week. John's coming back, I think, next week. Jim might be. Everyone's out in the world doing stuff. So don't worry. Everyone will be coming back. We'll get back to our shenanigans. So on that note, let's get out of here. Thanks, everyone. This is Liza.
Bagel.
I'm Steph.
And we are out of here.
Cool.